Hello, Hawaii Baptist Network Council. My name is Bong. Tomorrow is our get together, and I figured I'd give you a video to prepare you for tomorrow, among others, which is our agenda, and you'll be receiving that in your email. I want to record this because last month we were given the opportunity to look at bigger issues, and I'd like to share with you one bigger issue that I thought we would discuss tomorrow. And maybe it's good for me to give you a highlight of it. I had an opportunity to talk to John Endres, our HPBC executive board member, president, and this was a week after the annual meeting, November. Among others, I talked to him about Pulkahea, but also the fact that maybe our association could be of help when it comes to turning Hawaii Pacific Baptist Convention around, financially speaking, of course. Well, that conversation happened in November, and we revisited on a December conversation. Make the story short, John was very excited about the possibilities of Oahu Baptist Network looking into Pu'ukahea. Here's where we're at. We know Pu'ukahea is being leased by the Hawaii Fire Department, but a great portion of it is still not being used for anything. And my plea to John was to give us the opportunity to come to Pu'ukahea. 45% of our events at Oahu Baptist Network require a place where we could spend a good deal of time, overnight preferably, and camps and retreats. And we know for a fact that we have not been very successful of using other places when it comes to endeavors like this. And so with that in mind, I asked John if we could have a shot of it. Um, you know, it probably be, we have men and women from different churches that may be able to volunteer to put it ready for use. We have tremendous volunteers from 70 congregations that could be stepping up to help facilitate camps and retreats, and in our leadership departments for Wow Baptist Network could sure fully use some of these amenities and be of big help. Well, here's what I've heard. John, together with his staff and executive board members, did a walkthrough. I got some positive response from him. He said, Bong, you know that the first three buildings when you come into the driveway of Pulkahea is being used by the Hawaii Fire Department. And there are three K cottages. K1 is being used by them. A portion of the grounds green landscape is being used by them until the fire pit. And so he says, maybe we can fence that off and then have you all look at what you need to do and do what you need to do. He even suggests that we can use the YNI Baptist Church driveway as an entrance so that we do not have to worry about the fire department. He tells us that the only problem is that in the plantation, the big mansion, we lost the certificate to run the kitchen because it's run by, it's got pests and I figured, hey, maybe we can manage to bring that back up again. He says there are minor repairs that needs to be done in the plantation, but it is usable for camps as long as we can turn that kitchen around. I asked him about Peterson. I said, hey, you know what? Peterson has some bunk beds there. I sure could use that for overnight retreats. And kind of just chuckled and said, you know, that's a problem because someone's living there and they turn it into a house and that the bunk beds are placed someplace else. Well, I figured that's probably not a problem at all. Well, anyway, K2 and K3 cottages are available. There are some bunk beds that have been displaced there. I'm sure we could figure that out. I know some of you men have chainsaws, and ladies, you've got rags that you could probably bring at Pukahea and we could sweep and wipe. He tells us the manager's houses, though, need some real serious look. Flooring in one house and roofing in another. Well, for what I know, we've got some men and women out here in our churches that may be willing to donate their time if we are able to supply the the tools and merchandise and items. I want you to help me vision dreams that maybe just this year, if Pukay is turned over to us, that we may have an opportunity to turn the tide around. What do I mean? Well, you know, Pukahea has not been in camp business for the past 4 years or maybe more. As far as we are concerned, we are truly missing out. Could you imagine? That's almost a generation of young people that could have been today Southern Baptist givers, Southern Baptist sympathizers, Southern Baptist deacons, women's, and maybe youth leaders, and Southern Baptist attenders of our churches. And maybe we have lost a generation that could have been Southern Baptist pastors of the future. I hope and pray that you and I would come into terms to really be praying for the future. Now, if Pukahea is not for us and we're not the organization that's meant to turn it around, at least help us pray, not just for Pukahea, but also for Hawaii Pacific Baptist Convention and its transition that is going through. All right, I'll see you tomorrow in our meeting. That's enough information that I'm going to give to you. But tomorrow, I wish that you help me as we dedicate some discussions on this. This would be our big discussion tomorrow. Other than that, look at the other agendas, and I will see you soon. Aloha.